affirmative action. Kuwe na word na affirmative action. Haiwezi kuwa yule women rep GAF women rep GAF ana pesa zake, lakini watu wata nominated hawana. Haiwezekani ya kwamba governors wanaenda kwa deputy president wanasema no, because you don't have autonomy. Ati sisi hata hii tulipwe, if you have a problem with the governor, you don't get paid. Because inategemea waziri. Hii kuna parliamentary service commission. Sisi ukiweka yetu tutakufa. Sasa sisi tukiweka yetu tutakufa. Hiyo ndio mambo tunasema ya kwamba tuwekewe. Nimesema hapa tunatoka tukiwa na jawabu. Senator, nyinyi mkienda tamubiri unajipatia pension. Kuna watu walikuwa mpaka makajura, siku hizi wanakufa. Watu wengine kama mtu hapati kiti na amekosa pesa anarudi kuwa makanga. Lakini nyinyi mnajiangalia vizuri, mnajiwekea. Sasa hii devolution mlileta ya nini kama hamwezani nayo? Wao are you bringing it? So sisi tunasema ya kwamba MCA apewe nini? Pension. Senator, unakumbuka kuna MCA wetu pia amepotea. Hakuna security. Wewe Senator, hata wakati umekuja nimeona askari na unajua sisi hata pale zini wewe una askari wa kukulinda. Sisi hatuna. Mtu yuko na visa watu unajua kuna hata MCA amepigwa kofi, wengine wameuawa. Hiyo upuzi ndio tunasema hatutaki. Hata sisi tupewe security. The last one, Senator. Primary oversight ni yetu. Primary oversight ni ya nani? Senator, wakati tumeimpeach governor, in the Senate ya kuokoa mtu hapa. Kwani wakati sisi tunaimpeach hatuna akili. Hata akili ziko. Ukiona members wameimpeach a governor, can you go and look for fact finding kwa hiyo assembly? Why? Mtu anakuja huko na mapesa, mnaachilia mkora. Wacha nikutume Senator, mimi nataka usikize. Mimi nataka kukutuma kwa rais kwa sababu sisi tulienda kwa rais, chaka unakumbuka. Na tukaenda na tukaambiwa kwamba hiyo group imeenda, tutaenda sasa government ni broad based. Hata rais tunatakana wewe kwa sababu sasa unaweza ita rais simuite akuje kwa sababu wakati tulienda State House alituambia miezi 6 watakuwa. Tukaambiwa wiki 2 sasa tutakuwa. Sasa kuna watu tukaambiwa reimbursement hata hiyo itarudi. Sasa haijakuwa. So sasa Senator, sisi tunataka hizo pesa zetu na kwa sababu ni hapa. Mimi nafikiria kwamba wewe ndio utatuongoza twende. Sasa mimi nakuja bahari ambapo kwa nini tuko hapa? CAF ambayo tuko hapa. CAF inatakikana kama trade union ya MCAs. It should be negotiating on behalf of the MCAs. Prior to you being elected, through your elections, ukiwa elected, na after umetoka. Sasa kuna problem na nyinyi. Na hiyo ndio tunataka pia hii general assembly tutatue. na hatutoki hapa kabla hatujatatua, kwa sababu inayo General Assembly. Namba 1 ile tunasema ni kwamba CAF wakati ilianza, na ndipo umeona tulianza hapo kwa sababu tuliona hatuko pesa ya 300% ya MCA inaanguka na 300%. So sisi tunataka leo kwa sababu cheke hii ni General Assembly na dia it's the only General Assembly that can amend the constitution ya CAF. Na tutaiamedia tunatoka hapa tutakuwa na amendments ambazo cheka nafikiri utaangalia hakuwezi kuwa haiwezekani ya kwamba watu 47 ndio watasema utakula nini, utakunywa nini, utalala wapi, na wewe ndio uliwaweka. Haiwezekani. Mwisho
Waheshimiwa, tumpe nafasi.
Uchaguzi ya CAF huwa inafanywa na delegates. Unachagua watu. General Assembly ndio tunataka iwe inatuchagulia nani ataongoza CAF. Kwa hivyo tukisema kwa General Assembly hiyo inafanya nini? Inakuwa. Kwa hivyo senators tunakutuma hivi. ODM ambayo ni mzuri na tunashukuru na tumesema baba ya alianzisha devolution. Asikubali tukuve. ODM wakati mumenegotiate na serikali ukasema nyinyi mpewe committee pale na pale. So hiyo mmeweka condition. Sisi hao MCAs. Yule mtu anataka kuwa rais. Huwezi kuwa rais bila hawa. Kwa hivyo hata sisi tunapeana condition ya yule mtu tutachagua kama atatuangalia. Mtu kama atuangalia hata sisi hatutachagua. Hata sisi tunaweza kuwa rais. Kwani MCA akiwa rais Kenya itafungwa? Bas, hata MCA anaweza kuwa rais. Kwa hivyo na tuko haki. Na sisi ndio wenye nchi. Kwa hivyo senator, wewe wakati mna negotiate, ambia rais, all what we said in State House, nothing has been implemented, not even one. Zero. So sisi tunakuomba, hata sisi tunawekelea mambo yetu kwa meza, kama angoi na sisi, hata sisi hatutaongea. Kwa hivyo ni wasikize na sisi tufanye nini? Tusikize. Kwa hivyo mimi nimesema wakati tunatoka hapa, wewe senator, wewe ndio unatuongoza kwenda kudemand what is ours hapo. Nani pakua? Ukimaliza kuongea tunakufuata. Ukiingia kwamba tunaingia.
Nimesikia the military wing ya CAF. Iko sawa? Hiyo injection iko sawa? Iko sawa kabisa. Very good. Tunaendelea. Leo tuliwaambia ni siku yenu and there is no gag order. Ni sawa. So tutazungumuza, mtapeana agenda zetu zote, tutatoka hapa na resolutions. Wangwana, we have talked, we have listened to the majority leaders through the majority leaders chapter. Tumesikiza deputy speakers. I wish niombe tu kwa nidhamu. Tumesikiza leadership. Ni kweli? Tumesikiza leadership. Niombe tupewe nafasi tu ya whips. Minority pia wapewe nafasi. Unajua niko na mutaratabu na sitaki senator wakati yake ipite. Sawa. Haina shida. Aingie, lakini mimi sitazungua mtu kuongea sababu leo siku yenu. But understand two things. Order. Sinyi ni watu wa procedures and orders. Sawa. We are going to allow everyone to speak. Only that. Please also appreciate the time constraints I have. Sawa. Na sina hata lunch. Sawa. So very quickly, tusikize Bishar on behalf of the whips. Tutasikiza James Kanguda on behalf of the minority, and then Sawa. Watu wa order. The honorable members ambao wamekaa hapa, hii mkutano ni wenu. Unanielewa? So if mkinisukuma, I want the mic to be able to hear the honorable members. Sasa yaomba, because kama wewe ni leader of majority, kama wewe ni whip, kama wewe ni chair wa women caucus hapa, wewe ni MCA, si ndio? Hata SG kama mimi ni MCA, lazima tusikie member ule ana cheo ama sawa. So mniruhusu nikishazungumza na Mheshimiwa Bishara asalimiane awe wa mwisho, nipatie speaker 3 on behalf of the speakers na leader wa majority Nairobi, alafu sasa tuendelee na program from there. Kindly. Sawa. Do as many as
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Nafikiri leo ni siku yetu and this General Assembly Forum. First and foremost, let me take this opportunity to thank our Senator for finding time and space to come and listen to members of county assemblies here today. Secondly, let me take this opportunity to thank CAF for organizing this meeting, and it's a very crucial meeting. And thirdly, let me take this opportunity to also acknowledge my Vice Chair, Honorable Jane from West. Welcome. Thirdly, just wait. Thirdly, let me acknowledge and thank all members of county assemblies who are present here today. Honorable Senator, today you will have a lot of meeting here, and being the chief guest, a lot will going to be said, and it is your responsibility to take it up. My points are just very few. Please, I will be very brief. What has been said here, you have heard them. For the first one is the county public finance laws, which were brought to the house, to your house or the Senate in 2023 November. Up to now, it's still lying there. Secondly, the pension bill also arriving is already lying in the office at their place. It is still lying there. Thirdly, the representation of members of county assemblies at the FCRC board. Every constitutional office have a representation there. We request also you indulge us into how we can get a representative in the FCRC board as members of county assemblies. Fourthly, there is a problem with all county assembly speakers. They are there elected by the members of county assemblies, but at the end of the day, they sing to the tune of the governors. They are not with the political assemblies. That one, I think, is an in-house. We can ourselves, as the MCAs and members of county assembly, change it. But as already been asked here, CAF should be led by member of county assembly going forward. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much. Niite Speaker James Kalunda, leader of minority chapter, aseme kwa kifupi. Ndio nisikuwe nimenyima mtu nafasi ya kushine. Please.
What to celebrate the minority leaders?
Set your Facebook sasa. You can also access.
I'll be very brief. Naomba kuwasalimu hamjambo. Kwa majina naitwa James Kalunda wa Kalunda, member of County Assembly, Kibwezi Township in Makueni, and also the leader of minority there. Na pia ndiye chairperson wa leaders of minorities across the country. Na leaders of minority mmeona wako sidelined kidogo. Na pia members of the parties in the minority sides. So sisi tuko na shida kidogo. We will speak about the World Development Fund, because without the World Development Fund watu wa independence na pia wale hawako kwa serikali ward zao hazifanyiki kazi. So if we can get an equalization fund ya kila ward ikuwe sawa sawa, mambo itakuwa sawa. Number 2, pia leaders, members of the minority parties na pia independents bado na governor na pia wanafinywa na speakers. So ni vizuri pia tukuwe na clear structures on how to address that. Pia pension for 2-termers and beyond, that is a must, because also members of National Assembly and Senate wanapata vile vile. Na ukiangalia katiba role za MCA ndio role ya members of parliament, so it should be equal in all measures. So kila mtu lazima apate pension. Plenary sitting tunasema lazima zirudishwe, hiyo my friends wameongea. We need to ask ourselves also why AMCA is very popular with members of county assemblies. One, because it champions welfare of county assembly members. So lazima tukuwe na AMCA iko loose kidogo. We need to have a very strong CAF. CAF itapigana na watu wa COG, itapigana na Senate, ita address vitu zetu through Senate na wale wengine. So we must have a CAF which is speaking to matters to do with members of county assembly. We were told MCA salary will not go up because we are too many. We need to ask ourselves, like where I come from, we have 10 principals wa high school, na wote wanalipwa double my money, na wote wanalipwa na serikali. So why should the MCA earn less because there are too many in this country?
Thank you very much, SG, colleague speakers, all leaders of majority and minority, our whips, and all honorable members. My name is Josiah Diriku. I serve as the humble servant of the MCAs of Embu County, and I've been privileged to be elected as the chairman of the Speakers chapter in CAF. Mine is very simple. First, I'll let you know the speakers that are with us. Oh, they had already been introduced? Thank you very much. And Wakili Jenga, karibu sana. Huyu ndio wakili wetu wa CAF. Ndiye ametuchukulia court order against Kara. Thank you very much, Wakili Jenga. Mine is very simple. Colleague members, nimeona SG sasa kwa hii mkutano ni kama speakers wameangaliwa vingine, but I want to tell you these colleagues, on behalf of all the speakers of Kenya, we have been at the forefront leading all the negotiations affecting the welfare of members, and we shall continue being at the forefront, fighting for the welfare of members. All the issues that are before Senate, we have made very passionate follow-ups, and I'm sure our Chief Justice will confirm. Matters of anchoring CAF into law, matters of pension, the matters of ward funds, and the autonomy. All those are currently at the second reading in the Senate. I am sure our Chief Justice will confirm. And colleague members, after this meeting today, we shall require to do the necessary follow-ups so that any resolution that is made today shall find its way to the right offices, and that we shall take up together with the leadership of CAF. Finally, we are your servants, and just listen to me. We are your servants. Any resolution that we make, including technique from today. We also want to offer an opportunity to our colleagues to take up this matter. We as speakers will have our own arrangement so that CAF will now be chaired by an MCA so that we can take the matter forward. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Bwana SG. We shall continue being committed to the welfare of members. Asanteni sana, Mungu awabariki.
Thank you very much. Leo, as I promised you, hakuna mtu atafungiwa kuzungumza. All of these issues will capture them in the forum resolutions for today. Tumeelewana? Kuna updates tutapeana, lakini kabla hiyo we have skipped the leader of majority wa Nairobi ambaye he doubles up as the chair of KASA. Wale ambao wanatupangia michezo pia azungumuze. Asante sana.
Haya, Bwana Yesu asifiwe. Bwana Yesu asifiwe. Ndugu zangu, waheshimiwa wenzangu kutoka tabaka mbalimbali, kwa majina naitwa Imwatok Jateso, chair wa KASA. Na mara kwa mara tunasema MCAs are glorified social workers. I'm elected from 2013. For sure, kenye mezungumzia wote wazungumzaji ambao wamezungumza hapa, lazima tukatae kuwa glorified social workers. Tunataka tuanze mwanzo kwa mwanzo, nikishukuru kila MCA, all honorable members who have participated in the reforms of this chapter called CAF. Na hapa Nairobi tunasema hivi, sisi tutasimama na mwelekeo ya MCAs wote, na tukiwa katika CAF hatutaogopa kuzungumzia yaliyo haki, yaliyo kweli. Kwa hivyo, I want to tell you, fellow members, we are very grateful for your coming to Nairobi, and we welcome you to Nairobi, na tunatarajia tutakuwa na mkutano wa amani, kwa sababu sisi Nairobi tunapenda amani. Ukiwa Nairobi, kuwa na amani, kwa sababu tunapenda amani. Asante sana kwa Yesu.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, leader of majority na chair wa KASA. Order members, mkutano ni wenu. Sawa? And whatever you want to express here is what is going to be captured as the resolutions for this meeting. Tumeelewana? So, let me say kwa kifupi before I welcome the chair. Kuna mambo kadhaa tunaweza kufanya up to the order. Na members wale ambao wanaweza access energy, ukisikia energy levels zinashuka, they still being served outside. We are not going to do a break because tunataka tumalize the session ya afternoon to square 9. Sawa. Sasa before I welcome the chair, there are a couple of issues. Na naona I want to return Nimrod tuweze kuzidisha maswali ambazo ziko captured so that the Q&A can be clear. I want to say 3 things. Number 1, we shall have a legislative summit. Naona if you can have the president's assentment ya kukuja hiyo mkutano, you can be with there. Huu mkutano tuliita kama AGM so that tuongee kwa undani. When we call the legislative summit, which will be a month from here, tutakuwa na kikao kingine kia kuzungumza na wale ambao washika doria. Senate is going to be there, it's going to be represented, CRA is going to be represented, COB is going to be represented, na all the other issues as you've had. Wale ambao wamekaa pale chini kuanzia Mariamu and he is my witness. There is no single meeting tumefanya na SRC tujakosa kwenda Senate. There is no one we've left behind. Maybe ile tunaweza kuwa tumekosana ni ile ya kuwaita kuwapatia brief ya pale tumefika. But the reason why we are not able to give you yearly or half yearly or quarterly briefs is our subscriptions. Tunaelewana? The subscription issue ambayo ina remit to CAF imefungiwa. Why? Because when we go to Senate Park Committee, assemblies wanakatazwa kupeana remittances. Huko kwa assembly yenyewe pia members wenyewe wana feel wafai kupeana CAF. But this is your baby, this is your body. Hii na sina shida kabisa, we will reorganize the structures and give whoever you want. But whoever you want will still need a body that can run. Tumeelewana? So for me, tuko willing sana. We are willing to set up the structures. We are willing to open this thing. Unasikia hapa speakers wanasema wanaweza jitenga. If we go that direction, a group of 47 can be organizing themselves the way COG does, the way SOCAT does. Tutaachiwa members wetu. Who are the wale watu wanapeana pesa inaitwaje? Officer. Sini clerk na ni sini board. Sini ndio. And let's be honest, who keys in pesa inakuja? So those are issues, those are the critical issues we need to discuss even as we raise the temperatures. Na mimi niko sawa sana. And I want to indulge Senator Sifuna for agreeing to come. I don't know for the 47 county assemblies if your senators chamba yenu ikiwa mpya iko na kiti ya Senate. Ni kweli? Ni kweli? By a show of hand, let me know the senators who've come to your assemblies to hear the issues of members. Please clap for Senator Sifuna for allowing himself to come for all the 47 county assemblies. Because I think that is the direction tunataka kuenda. When we have a Kara court, Kara matter, maybe what to understand, the county assembly, the County Allocation of Revenue Act, ile president alisign on December 6th. Kuna ile kitu inaitwa division of revenue, ile 15% ile president anapeana pesa ile inaenda national na ile inaenda county, ile 15%. Of the 15%, this financial year was 380. Tunaelewana? Counties zote combined was 41 billion. At mediation, sijui kama uliona when assembly ilikutana na Senate, wali organize your budget. Your budget ikashuka to 36. Now, if you kill assemblies by kutoa 5 billion from their budget, it means, and you can ask your accounting officers, you can ask your speakers, you can ask your clerks, what amount of activities you can do between now and June. Speaker wa Nairobi amezungumza. Nairobi inanyolewa 328 million. It means we can only do salaries up to May, not even June. Because ile pesa ambayo ilikuwa imetengwa between July and December, we had expended half. Ni kweli? And so ile inapunguzwa, si hiyo yote, inapunguzwa ile nusu ambayo mtatumia. Ile ingine mshatumia. And so that would have crippled the assemblies. And so that, even as we talk about our welfare issues are going to be captured in that Kara issue. And so let me thank the governing council, led by the leaders who are majority, leaders of minority, the whips, the deputy speakers, the speakers ambao tulikutana nao Weston, and we made a resolution to go to court. We went to court and we got orders. Situjipigieni makofi hapo. This matter is coming up tomorrow, the 20th of February. And that is why you've seen even our akija hapa. Come, even as you want to go to Senate, I would wish atuambie kama hiyo kesho ni open court, we also go to court. Because if you are not able to discharge your activities as an assembly, you are crippled. And to make matters worse, the Kara year 25-26 is even lower. Tunaelewana? Is even lower. So even as we fight about our welfare, please also fight for devolution, fight for the issues that are affecting the county assemblies as a unit. So mimi sina mengi, yangu ilikuwa tu kusema hivyo. We as CAF, bad as we are, we went to court and we got a review on the taxation of the car reimbursement, so that every member of the assembly ambaye alikuwa amekatwa 660,000 akarudishiwa. Mulirudishiwa? Kama mku, kuna wale walirudishiwa, because mimi Nairobi nilirudishiwa. Kuna wale walirudishiwa? Pigieni CAF makofi on that point. Mgala utamu huo Waswahili usema, lakini haki yake mpe. Yeah, tunaelewana? Because if it was not for CAF to stop that kara, hatungekuwa tumefika February, because assembly, the president signed kara by December 6th. So even as much as we are agitating, please ensure that the issues that are affecting our county assembly as a whole, we follow them. Welfare is one of them, and we have better champions than me. But there are also issues. Senator Sifuna will tell you how many county committee sittings does Senate or National Assembly get. They are not good. Zetu ziko capped at 16. Those are the issues. Wamariamu wamewambia vizuri. When we went to meet SRC, we were told job description iko sawa, tulete job evaluation. We worked on a document. We took it to SRC. SRC term yao ikaisha, ikaanza ingine. We have to start. So even as you bring a new team, they will have to walk the processes and bado ziko hapo. And I'm happy to be having this meeting every 6 months for you to be given a status brief of everything we are doing. But this meeting, this hall will require your resources. Tumeelewana? So mimi yangu si on the issue of pension scheme for members, we have a law ambayo Senator Aaron Cheriot alileta. We have a law that gives a percentage of salaries ile unakatwa. As you speak now, ule ambaye ni more than one term member anajua unakatwa 31%, unapewa kama gratuity. Now the new law was proposing ishuke to 12.5%, alafu wewe contribute 7.5%. Hiyo inakuja ngapi? 19%. It is lower than the gratuity ile unapewa. Tumeelewana? That is an issue. We've engaged CPF. We have an institution ambayo tunataka tupitishe pia kama county assemblies, inaitwa pension state officers retirement scheme, ambayo we will be agitating for members to get. Yes, we want to be able, the government had already agreed on 31%. Wacha ibaki hapo alafu sisi tuambiwe tuongezee. Ndio kutoka hapo you are able to take care of yourself beyond the term. Kama umeshindwa ama umeretire ama umetaka aje, then there is something that can cater for you. Those are the decisions. Even as we fight about our welfare, those are the issues I also want to fight about. But haya vile nilisema mambo ni mengi, masaa ndio machache. Tuko na financial autonomy. For you to access money as a county assembly, every speaker here will tell you that document must go to the CC finance. Kama mpelekani na executive inakanyagiwa. The law, and the senator here will tell you, ishapita Senate on the financial autonomy of county assemblies. Iko kwa committee of the whole. Iko kwa committee of the whole. He will give us guidance on how to go about it. Itoke. So that from henceforth, ikipita, we don't need to go to the CC finance. Unaenda directly kwa COB. But hata huko kwa COB kuna issues. Ni kweli? Ama mjuaji watu wengi wanashindaga, finance officers wanashindaga Nairobi wakijaribu kusukuma. So those are the issues we also be talking about in the legislative summit. We will have the representative of COB herself there. We will have the auditor general hapo. Tuweze tuzungumuze these kinds of issues. Kuna anchoring of CAF into law and anchoring this institution for MCAs, whatever name is being called. And missing a shida, by the way, to see the ground to a better champion to be able to champion. But can we get the vehicle running fast? Can we get, and Senator Sifuna will tell you, washapitisha hiyo sheria, imeenda National Assembly. Once itoke National Assembly, because it's a money bill, ikija, you put the structures you want, you put the champions, because at least that one, your money will be guaranteed in terms of financing that institution. As it is, now tuko na mtoto. We have to make sure huyu mtoto anaweza kutembea. Anaweza kuwa anajitapikia, anaweza kuwa bolege, but is your baby, huwezi msahau. This is the only institution you have. Cheke might not be the answer. Whoever you feel is the answer is better. But at the end of the day, strengthen your institution to be able to run for you. Nikimalizia, I don't know who was in politics, it was young, but you could tell what was happening in 2010 in the run-up to the general elections, to the new constitution. Viti zilikuwa 3. Kulikuwa na kiti ya president, kulikuwa na kiti ya MP, na kulikuwa na kiti ya councillor. Mnakumbuka? the councillors ambao wamekuwa MCAs. Now there were additional 3 positions. President sasa alikuwa anakuja na deputy wake, governor alikuwa anakuja na deputy wake. Hawakupiga hesabu ya kukua governor, waliangalia huyu ni president with minimum capacity. Salaries are the same as the member of National Assembly. Why? Because we are looked at as legislatures at the county, at the national level. Ule Munyama alishindwa kujitetea ni Kajura. Because kwa hiyo ukumbi ambayo ilikuwa inazungumziwa, mulikuwa na algak. Ni kweli? Wale walikuwa councillors mulikuwa na algak. The algak was not able to access these positions to be able to defend the position that was being scrapped. And that is why I'm telling you, CAF na makosa yake yote is your body. Strengthen it so that ikiitwa Senate inaenda. I was a guest in their midterm review. Na nikaenda nikamwambia hizi issues nasema mbele yao. When we write to the president, and sijui kama nani alikuwa amebini hiyo barua. When we write to the president responds. Weka hiyo barua. Nimesikia mumesema please put it, weka heading vizuri. Shukisha hivi ndio watu wasifikirie nimeunda hii barua. Shukisha. Yeah, yapo. Is written 14 February 2025 to the chair ambaye aliondoka, ameenda National Government Chair wa County Assemblies Forum, Dear Sabulei, invitation to grace the opening of the 5th Legislative Assembly. I wish to acknowledge your receipt of your letter dated blah 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 16th of January requesting His Excellency the President to grace the official opening of the 5th Legislative Summit. I am pleased to inform you that His Excellency the President has graciously acceded to your request and will grace and officially open the summit on Monday 17th March 2025 at 11 a.m. Please liaise with the Office of the Deputy President for meeting of the President. We will get our best sharpshooters to be able to raise those issues. Na umesikia, si ati aski, we've been there, Karanja you were there, na tukapewa zile mezi tulipewa. So, I wish us, even as today we might not be able to exhaustively understand and get all your issues. Wale ambao wametuma maswali, we are going to capture, they are going to inform how we are going to organize that meeting. Na ita run from 14th of March all the way to 21st. Please, speakers ambao wako hapa, let your members come. Because if they don't come, hawezi understand what is happening on their behalf. Tumeelewana? Kujeni, we will do panels. We will have senators in those panels. We also want ordinary MCAs in a panel. Tumeelewana? So, use this platform to be able to channel. Media ndio hii hapa. Nimrod ananiambia, mnajua Nimrod Tab? Na mimi namuuliza mbona issues zetu? Mbona issues za assemblies? Mbona issues za devolution are not coming up? Sema because majority of our issues are welfare and it's okay. But also, even as we're doing welfare, can we also be champions on issues that are affecting devolution as a whole? Can we also be champions of issues affecting the nation as a whole? Nimesikia tumesema our member from Wajir hajaipatikana mpaka leo. Even as we are fighting, what have we done as assemblies to add pressure on that issue? Tunaelewana? So I want us, even as we agree and disagree and reorganize and organize, please strengthen your institution. Please pay up your subscription so that this meeting within a couple of months again we are able to call you. Nimesikia watu wanataka uchaguzi. We have a roadmap. Katiba ya CAF iko very clear on how to elect a specific position. We need first of all to repeal that constitution. Nanielewa? And procedurally, so that usikuwe na mtu usijui goti nini, we do procedurally. If Chenge Moura is to sit, I will gladly sit. Nimefanya role yangu. Whoever he wants to come, wacha aingie procedurally na asukume kutoka hapo. If this is a speaker you don't want to chair you, no problem. Can we do it procedurally? Isikuwe haphazard. So that even the speaker, because even as you put up the new institution, you will still want that speaker to support you from your assembly. You will still want that speaker to support you with subscriptions. I know of governing council members here who are not even given per diem to come this list. So, luckily maybe in Nairobi, Speaker Ken ananiachia ni parade because hakuna per diem. Meeting ni hapa, ni Harambee House, ni Senate, Hakuna padie mimi natakikana kupiga hii street. So haya ananiachia kama sionekani assembly ni sawa. But what happens the day kutakuwa watu Turkana or Walamu? Is Lamu going to confirm and support that member fully? Tunaelewana? Because it's a commitment. It's a commitment, honorable members. So mimi sina mengi, yangu ilikuwa hiyo. We on the anchorage nimewambia, on financial autonomy the senator will add to that. On tax reimbursement we have told you where we are. On pension scheme we have told you where we are. On basic salary and allowances we did a job description. These were the handover notes. The chair ambaye alitoka aliachia the new chair. I don't know ni time ningekuonyesha barua ambayo tumeandika ya ku try and meet the new commission. So we are working maybe quietly. Lona, uko na watu wangapi kwa timu yako? Lona, who is the CEO hapa? Ako na watu 10 kwa secretariat ya CAF. Of the 10, kuna dereva, kuna secretary, not technical. The technical people are about 4 or 5. How many members do we have? 2,248 members being served by 10. The COG ambao wako hapa Delta House, they have 4 floors and over 100 employees. That is why nimesikia Hanifa akisema mkimpeach whoever you are going to impeach. Already governors are able to put a lawyer to support. Sisi tukiwa na mesi yetu tungetaka sana kusupport Meru when walikuwa na issues. The only few thing ningeenda ni kukaa na wao hapo nimwambie I'm giving you support na wape moral. I don't have money to put up a lawyer for them. Are you getting? So hizi issues zina uzito na hatuwezi zimaliza na ukamilisha zote leo. I understand and by the way I feel you. Maybe you feel little has been done. But if to office yetu kwa hapa Flamingo Towers hapa hii, if you make time ama ukuje Nairobi County Assembly, speaker atamanage, atakuonyesha vile you can get a ride to there. Enda uchambue including your own accounts. See what happens when whatever wale watu ambao wamewekwa hapo mbele wawasaidie ama wanafanya namna gani. So that we don't just say hivi alafu ufike hapo pale upate mambo ni ngumu. So for me members, I thank you so much for making time to come to Nairobi. I'm thanking you so much for making time to make sure that this meeting happened. Mimi nilikuwa naambiwa MCAs waweze kaa room moja na waongee issues zao. I'm very proud of you. Tutakata, tutakosana, you will speak, lakini nimeambiwa na nimepigiwa simu mingi sana, kanyagia huyo, sema hapana, leo mkutano ni wenu. So we want to hear you and we will also give you more chance to be heard. But please, package your issues in a way, whatever goes out to the media, projects people who can lead this country. Karanja rafiki yangu amesema, we can even be president. I know so many people wanataka kuwa women reps here. I know so many people wanataka kuwa senators. Sifuna senator wangu ananiambia wewe unakatalia class. Sisi na himu watu tuko Mamugabe wa assembly tumekatalia hapa because unapiga hiyo pesa inatakana kusimama Nairobi, unapiga unaona vile mambo inakaa, unasema wacha nisaidie members hapa tu wangaa. We are 3 times we have been speakers. I have been a backbencher, I've been a frontbencher. Sasa hata mimi niko huko backbench nikisukuma hii maneno. Nikiambiwa kazi yako isonge, I'll gladly go. But what happens to the next member of county assembly? Wale ambao tulikuwa na 2013, you know we had a better deal than what we have now. What are we leaving to the next generation? Those are the issues. Those are the issues. So with that, poleni kwa kuweka sana. I'm so apologetic, we could not even offer you anything. But we wanted you to come and understand that even this hall imechukuliwa na dini. Take charge from now. Go and sort your own assemblies. Too many. If you are a back chair like me, clear hiyo story ya CAF. Senator yuko hapa nikienda, is a member of Public Accounts Committee of Senate. Namwambia, you know my heart. Mimi sina haja na hii pesa. In fact, there is nobody to give me. Any member hawa na serve wanalipwa na assembly zao. So the money that is able to do, this lawyer, na ningetaka hata akizungumza hata waambie how much you've been able to give him on a 5 billion case. So mimi poleni nimeshikika kidogo, but niache chair wangu wa County Assemblies Forum, chair ambaye anaitwa Sabulei, speaker wa Elgeyo aliyejiuzulu by end of last year. Ameenda kufanya kazi kwa national government. You are supposed to come so that you realize sisi si ati alifukuzwa, he has gone to greener pastures. Akiangalia hii biashara ya assembly na ile ingine, he preferred this one. The new speaker anaitwa Lawi Kibere, the speaker wa Elgeyo Marakwet, asimame. Lawi was an ordinary member, Metkei ward. Hiyo ndio direction. Hiyo ndio direction mnataka. Mnaweka speaker wenu. I also want to recognize Speaker Ansalem wa Taita Taveta. Is he around? Speaker Ansalem. Taita Taveta, Speaker Mwamburi wakati walitumia constitution kumng'oa, waliweka Ansalem, who was also a deputy speaker. Mpigeni makofi. Nyamira, also mlikuwa na maneno, mkatoa speaker, mmeweka mwingine. Wananiuliza why is CAF not recognizing? Mimi nataka ipiwe jamaa mwingine ameenda kotini, malizeni hiyo maneno. Once it's there, I will personally come and hand him an acknowledgement letter. Ansalem is my witness. Wakati walipomaliza kotini, I went to Taita Taveta. Tumeagree when we do, I'll come officially to the house, or the chair will also represent. So it's not that CAF is refusing what munakubaliana pale assembly. The members of CAF ni assemblies na members. If members decide this is how they want to reorganize their house, so be it, we will support. Lakini pia wacha tuifanye within dictates za sheria. Tuko sawa? The Honorable Speaker Philemon Kiplagat Sebule alipojiuzulu, his deputy alikuwa anaitwa Speaker Ann Kusia, who is the Speaker of Machakos and the only lady speaker of the 7 county assemblies. The EC sat on Monday and ratified the position as the current acting. Tumeelewana? Acting chair wa the forum, because we had to proceed. Because kulikuwa na gap ya deputy, EC kaka ikayasema Speaker Seth Kamanza, Speaker wa Kwale, ndio atakuwa deputy wake. And he is also acting. Wakati ikifika tufanye ukarabati wa sheria, please, hatuna shida na hizi viti. We hold this viti in trust. Wakati tutaambiwa tusonge, tutasonga, tufanye mambo mengine. Speaker Ann Kusia, please zungumuza na forum yako and you take over the program and invite the chief guest. Asanteni sana, Mungu awabariki.
Tafadhali tuendelee, makofi ya kilo. Mwenyekiti, kwa heshima, kama unaweza kuja kuzungumza na waheshimiwa wako.
Good afternoon, honorable members. God is good. All the time. And all the time. Thank you, honorable members, for this opportunity. I stand before you this morning, or afternoon, sorry, having taken over from Honorable Sabule this Monday, and I can tell you I'm quite new. I will make my maiden speech before you today so that we take it away. Members, it has been repeated many times that this is your meeting. We sat down as EC and we thought it wise to come, call you here today so that we can speak from one page and discuss matters that affect us all together. I'm going to take you through my speech that I've written, and from there we move forward. I say this is my maiden speech because it is my first time to stand before you. Honorable Senator for Nairobi City County, Edwin Sifuna, Honorable Speakers of the County Assemblies present, members of the County Assemblies House leadership present, honorable members of County Assemblies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, Amjambo. Honorable members, it is with great humility, gratitude, and a deep sense of responsibility that I stand before you today as the acting chairperson of the County Assemblies Forum, CAF. Honorable members, I wish to begin by acknowledging the immense contribution of our outgoing chairperson, Honorable Philemon Sabule. His tireless leadership and dedication over the past 2 years has been instrumental in strengthening our position within Kenya's devolved governance structure. Additionally, his tenure has been a testament of dedication, resilience, and visionary leadership. For example, under the guidance and leadership, CAF has grown into a formidable institution that continues to advocate for the rights and welfare of county assemblies and their members as well as strengthening Kenya's systems of devolved governance. Honorable Speaker Emeritus, your welfare message reflected not only the milestone we have achieved as a forum, but also the changes we must continue to confront together. We sincerely thank you for your service and wish you success in your future endeavors. I am complimenting in his absence because we had invited him, but I think something cropped up and he was not able to come. Honorable Sabley please that as you leave the devolution space, kindly be the goodwill ambassador of CAF. Honorable members, allow me to quote Abigail Ann Spanpeja, a former American politician and a former United States representative from Virginia 7th Congressional District. Abigail observed as follows, that listening to the people I serve is a critical component of any representative effort. Honorable members, this will be the basis of my service to you and the county assemblies. I do a lot of listening and then take action. Honorable members, as I assume this role, I do so with a firm commitment to uphold the mission and vision of county assemblies and its members. I am therefore aware of the responsibilities that lies ahead, which includes but not limited to safeguarding the gains we have made and the need to continuity in the initiatives already underway. Honorable members, as we reflect on our journey, it is clear that our collective...
Somebody here is just photographing people and he has the intention of tagging members, not to speak. There is somebody who has been heckled here, massively. And this person is now calling some people to his desk and they are photographing some members around here.
Order members. Order members.
Sergeants wata clear hapa so that no one comes here. Sasa, sergeants wata clear so that no one comes here. We've captured. Number 2, We have 100 sergeants from all the county assemblies. 100 sergeants. We have security officers. So please feel safe. Please feel safe.
Other members.
I hear you. We have enough security. We have enough security for you members. We have enough security for you members. We have sergeants from all the 47 county assemblies. Please feel free. Please feel safe. Sawa. Allow the meeting to go. Allow the chairmanism to go. We are going to deal with that. We are dealing with that. Thank you. We are dealing with that. We'll deal with that.
Members, calm down.
I hear you. But
Honorable members, calm down. The matter is being sorted out. Members, calm down.
So, if anything happens, if anything is going to happen, it's take charge.
Made and the need for continuity in the initiative already underway. Honorable members, as we reflect our journey, it is clear that our collective strength has been instrumental in advancing revolution in Kenya. The victories we have secured in strategic litigation and legislative advocacy speak volumes about our determination and unit of purpose. From the interim orders of the County Allocation Revenue Act, CAF 2024, to the ongoing defense of motor vehicle reimbursement allowances for the MCS, is a clear evidence that CAF has been unwavering in its defense of members and the county assemblies. These are not just legal wins, they are victories for devolution and for every Kenyan who believes in accountable, effective, devolved system of governance. Honorable members, CAF's legislative advocacy has also been pivotal in shaping interventions that promote financial autonomy, equitable resource allocation, and secure retirement benefits for MCS. Honorable members, we will continue advocating for legislative reforms by pushing for the enactment of critical bills.
Asanteni sana. MCS oye! Kama tunaonana nipungie mkono kwa uongozi mzima wa CAF. Kwanza niseme it is a great honor ya kwamba mmenialika katika, sielewi jamaa nitakaje, zaidi ya wajumbe 2,000 kwa kuchagua kati ya maseneta 67 katika taifa letu, ya kwamba mnialike mimi niweze kuzungumza na nyinyi na kutumika na nyinyi. Sababu ya nyinyi kuchagua mimi sijui, lakini mimi nafurahi kuwa hapa. Na kwanza kama senator wa Nairobi niwaambie, everybody is safe here in this hall. Kila mtu yuko sawa. Saa zingine siasa inakuaga namna hiyo, kuna mvutano hapa na pale. Lakini naangalia wale watu wanavutana, naona Dano Mukofu, Muti ODM kutoka Kakamega. Naona majority whip yangu ya Kakamega, Bogongo yanapiga kelele. Nikiangalia huku naona ni Imwato, majority whip wangu wa Nairobi. Watu ODM tutakosana mbele ya wageni kweli?
Sasa nawaambia tu mtulie, si ndio? I am very proud because some of you know me as the Secretary General of ODM. In this particular body called CAF, ODM has contributed more than 473 members. And therefore, both as your SG and an elected senator, mukiniita mimi lazima nitakuja. I come to such forums and have prepared a speech, but I hear the issues on the floor. Nasikia ni tupe tu hii speech kando tuongee tu kama Wakenya, si ndio? Mambo saa zingine huwa inachemuka hivi vile ambavyo inachemuka. Kuna mheshimiwa MCA wangu wa hapa Bwana Maniki alisema ati masenators hawakwangi kwa ground. Mwaniki, ofisi yangu iko hapa pale, tuko saa hii kwa wodi yako. Hawa MCAs hata kuna wengine wametoka Embu leo, walikuwa wanaingia hapo wanaona imeandikwa county assembly, county senator wa Nairobi, wakaingia pale. Wako wapi Ignatius, wako wapi? Ndio wale wawili kutoka Embu. Kwa hivyo mimi niko hapa, kama kuna ground nyingine mheshimiwa Mwaniki utaniambia, hii ni ground yako na niko hapa kila siku asubuhi. Sasa kuna maneno ambayo yamesemwa hapa, mimi nadhani kwa sababu when you invited me through your leadership, mheshimiwa Chenge Mwaura, tulikuwa na yeye kule Nakuru wakati tulikuwa nafanya midterm assessment ya performance ya Senate. I prepared because I knew that there were issues that have been raised and I have to address them as your leader, as your colleague in the devolution family. I honestly believe that I've captured some of those issues here, and I had committed to spend this entire morning with you so that if there are any issues that have not been covered in my speech, I answer questions. Mimi siogopi nyinyi viongozi wenzangu. Unaona kuna watu wengine mgoita watatoroka. Let us criticize each other, tuambiane ukweli, lakini at the end of the day, we find a way forward for the devolution family. So I want to make this commitment here, that for as long as I'm the senator of Nairobi, who took an oath to defend counties and their governments, which includes the legislative arm of the government, I will always be an ally that you can count on this journey to make devolution happen. So, ladies and gentlemen, there are many issues that have been raised. Na unajua nilikuwa nasikia speech hapa najiuliza mlinichagua kwa nini? Nikasikia jamaa mwingine hata ananituma kwa ofisi yenye mimi mwenyewe sijaienda. Nikauliza huyu mtu kweli anajua? Karibu sana governor. Thank you excellency. The governor has just arrived and he was also my classmate at the University of Nairobi. Karibu sana governor. I was just about to make my remarks. Nilikuwa nasema kuna ofisi zingine nyinyi hata mnasikia mna bahati mshawaenda huko. Mimi hata siitwangi huko. Lakini nataka kila mtu agawiwe kazi yake. Tafadhali. Everybody has a constitutional responsibility. Kila mtu afanye nini? Agawiwe kazi yake. If I ever make a promise here and I don't execute that promise, I don't expect you to ask anybody else. You ask the maker of the promise and the person whose constitutional mandate it is to ensure that those things are done. So I will account for myself. I will account for myself as a senator and the constitutional duty which I was elected to do. I have a lot of respect for MCAs. Let me tell you a story before I do this speech. I have run for Senate twice, in 2017 on an ODM ticket and lost. I ran again in 2022 and I won on an ODM ticket. In all those occasions, the MCAs from Nairobi here can bear me witness, I campaigned solely and exclusively with the MCAs of Nairobi. I campaigned with them, and they are the ones who have greater access to the ground than you, watakuombea kura. So I don't doubt it when you say here that you are the people who make people presidents. And you must be respected. And that is the reason why, when I received this invitation, I felt extremely honored and I decided that I must attend. I want to beg you, honorable members, that you allow me to make this speech because I genuinely believe it addresses some of the concerns that have been raised, especially when it comes to the senatorial mandate and the things that we have done in the period since we were elected. So, the Right Honorable Speakers of the County Assemblies, honorable members, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I feel greatly honored by your invitation to speak at this hospital. I thank you once again for choosing us to host this conference because we know many counties are competing to host such conferences with us. all that the city has to offer, knowing that your hard work deserves a break occasionally to re-energize and recalibrate for the long session ahead. Wale wananijua saa ingine hapa Nairobi huwa wananiita waziri wa sherehe. Sisi huwa tunapiga sherehe bwana, kwa sababu tuko na stress pia sisi. Hata nyinyi kama viongozi msijifunge. You only have one life. Hii kazi saa ingine inaweza kukuua, na mmesema nyinyi wenyewe hapa. Kwa hivyo mkipata hata boss kuja ndio kuonyesha mahali tunaweza piga, kuna kitu tunasemanga kushika county. Unajua county? Nitawaonyesha. This forum comes at a time of great challenges for the people we represent. Amid a heavy tax burden, declining incomes, job losses and political uncertainty, and the general outlook appears very bleak. There is no gainsaying the fact that the people we represent today live in very difficult times, a time of despondency and biting poverty, which makes our work several times more challenging than our predecessors. I invite you, the county assemblies, to take cognizance of the fact that as the evolution's foremost grassroots warriors, you are basically the first responders and critical or crucial intervention agents in the suffering of the people. This therefore calls for more empowerment of MCAs and the county assemblies with the requisite tools to meet the desires and aspirations of the electorate. In my capacity as a senator and as a national leader, I strive every day to seek avenues of such empowerment for the country's most critical elective units. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, Article 96 of the Constitution enumerates the primary role of the Senate as representing the counties and serving to protect the interests of the counties. Allow me to therefore state that your esteemed roles as the county assemblies in furtherance of the welfare of the devolved units and mine as a senator are complementary. I am therefore alive to the need for us to cooperate in our functions if we are to make devolution work for the people. I am delighted to note that my invitation to this forum indicated that I would speak on the critical role of legislative institutions in strengthening devolution. Before I delve into this, allow me to draw your attention to Article 174 of the Kenyan Constitution, which lists 9 objectives of devolution as follows. Number 1, to promote the democratic and accountable exercise of power, to foster national unity by recognizing our diversity as a people, to give powers of self-governance to the people, and enhance participation of the people in the exercise of the powers of the state and in making decisions affecting them, to recognize the right of communities to manage their own affairs and to further their own development, to protect and promote the interests and rights of minorities and the marginalized, and to promote social and economic development and the provision of proximate, easily accessible services throughout Kenya, to ensure equitable sharing of the national and economic and local resources throughout Kenya, and to facilitate the decentralization of state organs, their functions and services, and lastly, to enhance checks and balances and the separation of power. My role in the Senate and yours in the county assemblies must internalize the foregoing objectives before we can seek to strengthen devolution. The principal attendant to the quest for devolution held that there was need to bring resources closer to the people, minimize the choking control of central government and decentralized services. As a Senate, or at least the progressive forces within the Senate, we have continued to push for greater allocation of revenues to the counties in keeping with this principle and with the law. Even though we still face resistance from government and pro-government legislators in both houses, it is imperative to note that the resilience towards a constitutional threshold for revenue allocation is undying, as seen by conscious efforts by progressive legislators in the last 2 financial years. Following the enactment of the Division of Revenue Act 2023, the equitable share for revenues to counties increased from 370 billion to 385 billion. Consequently, the share of my own county of Nairobi also increased in the financial year 2023-2024 from 19.2 billion Kenya shillings to 20.07 billion, representing 5.2% of the national share, and Kenya shillings 822 million increase from the 2022-2023 financial year. In the subsequent year, and following the enactment of the Division of Revenue Act of 2024, there was another increase of the equitable share of revenue to counties from 385 billion to 400.1 billion. This milestone meant that the share of revenue had crossed the Kenya shillings 400 billion threshold for the very first time ever. It was a moment of great pride for the entire Senate. However, the celebration was very short-lived following the events of last year, with the national government rejecting this amount and returning the bill back to Parliament. Shockingly, members, the national government came with a recommendation to slash the county share of revenue to 380 billion, a figure that was lower than the 385 that we had sent to counties in the 2023-2024. I am very proud that as a Senate, we rose to the occasion and rejected that proposal. I was among the team that was selected by the Senate to mediate with our National Assembly counterparts. And by the way, let me report to you that I was extremely shocked by the attitude and the intransigence of the members of the National Assembly, especially at the beginning of that mediation. However, I must say that we stood proudly for devolution, and in the end, we were able to agree on certain basic principles. Number one, we were able to persuade the members of the National Assembly that there are no Kenyans who belong to the national government and those who belong to the county governments. We are one state. We represent one people who often don't care which level of government is responsible for what. They just want things done. If there is a bridge that has collapsed somewhere, people don't care who shows up to build that bridge. They want the bridge built. Second, we persuaded the members of the National Assembly that as a principle, the Senate will never accept a situation where counties receive an allocation that is lower than that of the preceding year. Come rain, come sunshine. Thirdly, that year on year, there must be incremental growth on the devolution basket. And lastly, that it did not matter what happened, the national government must always bear the burden of any shortfalls in projected revenues. So those are the things that we were able to agree. The result of the mediation was that counties were now allocated 387 billion, but the biggest victory in my own view is that we were able to persuade each other on those basic principles that should make future debate on shareable revenue more straightforward. In pushing for greater resources to the counties, the Senate is guided by the enduring belief that these funds need to be deployed effectively, transparently, and efficiently for the benefit of the people. I am constrained to mention that the County Assembly's role in oversight of these funds is critical to the ultimate success of county projects and devolution in general. Therefore, in simple terms, you can strengthen devolution by ensuring that the oversight function is also a credible, transparent, and forthright function, ensuring that the taxpayer gets value from this revenue allocation. When you speak to many citizens, the overriding concern is that county executives are so domineering in the counties that the county assembly's own functions disappear into obscurity. We have heard your cry as a Senate to liberate county assemblies from the grip of the executive by providing for financial autonomy. At the tail end of last session in December, we overwhelmingly voted at the second reading for the County Finance Laws Amendment Bill, Senate Bills number 39 of 2023, that is sponsored by Meru Senator Kathuri Murungi, which seeks to free all assemblies from the tyranny of your CECs for finance and their infamous Form C. Nasikia kuna form inaitwa Form C. Na kama ukifuatana na hawa reading, you can count on the National Assembly just as much as you did your senators for them to pass this critical bill. My experience in the last 2.5 years as a senator is that the National Assembly is where good legislation from the Senate goes to die. Those guys, we will pass all these laws, but for as long as they require concurrence, they will go and sit on them. The Honorable Cheki Mwaura was a guest at the Senate midterm review. And one of the resolutions we passed as a Senate, that if the lower house is not going to prioritize our bills, we will equally not prioritize their bills. And luckily for us, and I say this, and I know I'll get into a lot of problems with them, we finally have something they value that is going to come to the Senate. Now, Adiri, so I encourage you to petition them just as much as you did for them to pass that bill when it goes before them. And when the bill becomes law, it will establish the independent county assembly service fund in all the 47 counties, receiving funding directly from the exchequer and separating assembly funds from the executive. Among the other bills currently before the Senate aimed at improving the welfare of MCAs, enhancing the functions of the assemblies and promoting a modern outlook in service delivery at the ward level include, number one, the County Assembly Services Amendment Bill is a Senate Bill number 34 by Masabit Senator Mohamed Chute, which sets clear guidelines for the functions of the County Assembly Services Board, including the procedure of removal of members, and the bill is currently at the Committee of the Whole stage. Secondly, we have the County Assembly's Pension Scheme Bill. This is something you have raised in this particular meeting. It's the Senate Bill number 14 of 2024 by the Majority Leader, which establishes a state-sponsored pension fund and will provide retirement benefits for ward representatives across Kenya. It is currently at the Committee of the Whole. Thirdly, there's a County Wards Equitable Development Bill, Senate Bills number 20 of 2024, by Kiambu Senator Karungo Wathangwa, which lays a framework for the promotion of equitable development in the wards within the counties by providing for the allocation of funds for ward-based development projects. It is currently at the second reading. Now, members, this is a commitment I want to give again. On all of these three bills, you know, and I can say today, how Sifuna will vote. You know how I will vote. And I speak in that capacity again, and in the capacity as the Deputy Whip of the Minority and SG of ODM. We are the believers in devolution as a political party, and anything that we can do to enhance your oversight capacities, we will be able to do. Additionally, the Senate, through the Standing Committee on Finance and Budget, has remained ready to listen to your leaders whenever they present your issues before us. And I'm happy that the Speaker of the County Assembly of Nairobi is here. They came to me on the issue of the ceiling of the Nairobi County Assembly expenditure, and we pushed it to 220 million. That we did in conjunction with our budget committee and in cooperation with the Speaker and the leadership of the County Assembly of Nairobi. I still feel though that this is not enough. By the way, somebody here said that the speakers have everything. Me, I don't know the experience in other counties, but I have to carry my own water to the Speaker of Nairobi's office. He doesn't have water. The members there, if you look at the conditions of the members of the County Assembly, and we were very embarrassed, by the way, as a Senate. Last year, we were not able to do Senate Mashinani. Even after those of us who were in the Senate Business Committee pushed that Busia County host us. I know you were very disappointed. But I will talk about this question of money and budget cuts because it went across the board. The reason there was no Senate Mashinani last year is because the Senate also has no money. And I will demonstrate to you here. It was so embarrassing, in fact saying it out loud here is even causing further embarrassment. But because pia nyinyi mmemwaga mtama, hata sisi waje tumwage mtama. Ndio msifikirie sisi tunaishi maisha soft life hapa Nairobi. We were not able to come to Busia because the Senate has no money. But those visits to your county assemblies are a serious eye-opener. We were in Turkana. Are there members from Turkana here? They are here. Hawana fair. Yeah. So I still feel that this is not enough. But I was saying I was in Turkana, and you feel the difference immediately you walk into that chamber. Immediately you walk into that chamber, you can see that this is not appropriate for somebody who's supposed to be performing these functions. And we will speak to that just a little bit as I conclude. Yes. Okay. Mutanihamisha mara ngapi leo? Aya. I still feel that this is not enough, and we will push both for a higher figure as well as similar expenditure cap enhancements in all other county assemblies, in keeping with the critical role of the county assembly in our democratic framework and representation of the people. Besides low-lying fruits like tax-free, car grants, and are important in enhancing the overall role of the MCA and a key area that we must push together to ensure that it is done. To effectively perform as an MCA, MP, or senator ultimately requires to be properly facilitated in those roles. I personally, as Sifuna, see no justifiable reason for the obvious bias in how MCAs are facilitated to execute their roles compared to their counterparts in the National Assembly and in the Senate. Alongside like-minded colleagues, I will strive to change this and support legislation that facilitates MCAs to perform their functions more effectively. I challenge you to reciprocate by doing all it takes to make devolution work. I want to say this, you have allies in the Senate. You have people who truly believe in devolution. And even when your own county senator might not be that person, I want you to know that you have allies in the Senate, and we will push these things. My office will remain open for consultations and collaboration with you and everyone whose interest is to serve the people on how else we can enhance our capacity to do this. I challenge you to help provide that leadership that shows the people that we care and that amidst all these difficulties, we represent hope for a better future, whether in the short or long term. I will say 3 things in closing. Number 1, we must make a country that works for all of us. We must make a country that makes sense to all of us. And I am telling you, leaders, when a country goes down the drain, none of us is going to be spared. You spoke here about your colleague, the Wajir MCA Yusuf Hussein Ahmed. And for a long time, people used to think that leaders are immune from some of these things, that it could never happen to us. That case in Wajir has proven that in fact, no one is safe until all of us are safe. If something is wrong in our country, in your small capacity, please say it is wrong. Criticism and making sure that our government works in accordance with the Constitution does not mean you hate that government or the person in charge. We have a sworn responsibility to speak out when things go wrong. Number 2, I am a member of the County Public Accounts Committee, and we have interrogated this question of payments to the County Assemblies Forum. We have taken a position as a Senate that if you don't regularize all these funds, then it is not going to be possible for us to clear audit questions when there is no legal backing. And the governor from Muranga will tell you that we have taken the same position on payments to the Council of Governors, because we told them, bring a law before the Senate to entrench these bodies, then we will not have any questions if counties spend money on those bodies. But honestly not be expected to support such a position. So at least the law on CAF has been processed. COG, you need to process your law as well so that these payments are clear. Lastly, we visited Mandera just recently. I don't know if there are members from Mandera. Yes, on the invitation of your senator, we visited Mandera. We saw with our own eyes the difference that devolution can make. In fact, when I spoke there, I said, it is almost impossible to see the national government in Mandera. But you can see hospitals that have been built by the county government. You can see a teachers training college that has been built using county funds. And then they tell us that devolved units should not touch county or national projects. But how long will you wait for the national government to show up in Mandera? How long must you wait? If Mandera had not built that TTC themselves, they would not be having teachers. You remember we had a problem of security there and teachers were running away. They have developed a homegrown solution. So even on this question of bursaries, my position again as Sifuna is that unless you educate those children yourself, you cannot tell the people giving bursaries to stop giving those bursaries. Wewe ukuje usomeshe hawa watoto basi. Si namna hiyo. So if there is required to be a framework to be put in place, let us put the framework. But you cannot tell county governments not to do things, and yet as you said yourselves, mtu wa kwanza mtoto akifukuzwa kwa shule, mlango ya kwanza inagongwa ni MCA. Si hao watu hapa Nairobi wanapiga kelele hapa. So ya mwisho niliwaambia kwamba hata na sisi tulikosa kufanya Senate mashinani last year. The Senate presented a budget of 14 billion Kenya shillings to the PSC in the last financial year. We were told they don't have that money. It was slashed to 7 billion, more than half. Even after these adjustments were made, you have told me that some county assemblies lost almost 200 million Kenya shillings. The Senate lost 600 million Kenya shillings. We have had an item, because I used to sit in the Senate Business Committee for the last 2 sessions. We had an item on our budget for almost 3 years of buying a new system for the Senate. Those of you who have watched proceedings of the Senate sometimes, especially during impeachment and the others, you see the difficulties we face with playing videos, sound, voting, and so on and so forth. That system is supposed to be replaced for 200 million shillings. We have never gotten that money. And whenever it comes to money, my brothers and sisters, we must all put pressure on our members of the National Assembly. Our members of the National Assembly are the ones who deal with this question. Upande wenu ni nani? Mimi. Na wenzangu wale wako kwa chama changu ambao tunaweza kupaswedi each other kwa sababu tunaamini katika hili swala zima la ugatuzi. I want to stop there and to thank you wholeheartedly for inviting me. It is a great honor. Do you know, this is the first national what can I say, function that has representation from across the country that I've had the honor of addressing and I pray to God that it is not the last. Thank you, and God bless you.
Those kind words.
Asante.
Words
Asante.
of encouragement.
Can I do the honors? Thank you. Thank you. Unajua inachemukanga mpaka nasahau protocol. Na nataka niseme hivi, mkitaka kwenda Senate hata saa hii tunaenda tu. Hiyo ni nyumba yenu. Hiyo ni nyumba yenu. Mkitaka nikuwe mbele, katikati, nyuma, pahali mtaniweka nitakuwa kwa hiyo msafara tu. Sawa sawa? Sasa nataka mnikubalie kwa heshima kubwa nimkaribishe gavana wa gatuzi la Murang'a, ambaye ni gavana ambaye takwimu zinaonyesha kwamba ni mmoja wa wale ambao ni mchapakazi, si ndio? Si mumeona takwimu hii wenyewe? Gavana alikuwa MCA huyu, tukiwa University of Nairobi, he was an MCA in Murang'a. Then he went to the Senate na akakuwa governor, and he is my classmate. Na ni mtu ya rege, ni mtu ya sherehe. So governor ni wetu tulikuwa tumengoja na mtu ya barua. Sasa kuna barua zingine walikuwa wananiambia mimi niende nazo, simwachie mwanaume aende nazo. Asante sana, karibu governor.
Yes, can we clap for Honorable Sifuna? Senator Sifuna is one of the most brilliant, articulate, progressive senator Kenya has ever produced. We are proud of the work you are doing, and we'll definitely pray for good things for you. Let me take this opportunity to thank Honorable MCAs who are with us here. And I can say, as a governor who has served as an MCA, being an MCA is the most important leadership position you can hold. I say so for several reasons. One, it is the only seat of leadership where you interact with the mwananchi every day from Monday to Monday. It is the only seat of leadership where when the mama boga or a poor woman or a poor man wakes up, he can only come to your house. Others' position, rarely will you find them near the people. And therefore, from where I sit, members of the county assembly need to be supported to conduct their affairs. I want to say that your grassroots experience this republic needs to honor and to appreciate, because from where I sit, the future of devolution, the future of this country lies in an empowered MCA. Let me start by saying that Murang'a County does not purport to say that we are the best. No, I do not believe in competition. What we are doing is what I know many other counties are doing. Whether it's County X, County Y, I know they are doing a good job. Us is a little contribution to the advancement of this country. But in Murang'a, we strongly believe that the governor should not be the epicenter of everything. We believe that power should be exercised in a collegiate manner. And therefore, from where we sit in Murang'a, the voices and the contribution of MCAs, we have to incorporate it in the everyday running of Murang'a County government. And therefore, one of the main agitation of the members of the county assembly is in the area of ward fund. When I was the Senator of Murang'a, I brought a law in the Senate that was passed in the Senate, but it was rejected by the National Assembly, which provided in-law ward fund, but the members of the National Assembly refused to support it. I also am aware of the Supreme Court decision which says that legislatures that should not execute projects, But Murang'a, we came up with a way to go around that rule. We came up with a program called Community Projects, where members of the county assembly, they have their sole responsibility to propose to the county what project should be done in the awards. And as a result, surely the governor has only 2 eyes. I only have 2, 1 nose, 1 mouth. I cannot be able to see all the corners of Murang'a County. But when I have 35 elected members of the county assembly assisting me, Murang'a can only move better as opposed to 1 person. Able to tell me, please look at this bridge in Ward Y, look at this ECD in Ward X. He will go there, he will then take political credit. And for me, that is a win-win situation. Let me tell you, the law says your role is to legislate, to oversize, and to represent. But you dare go tell Mama Mboga that. He will tell you, no, me, I'm interested in a school. And therefore, I believe when I give an MCA that opportunity to propose a project, it is not against the law, it is what the common one needs. I'm also aware that the control of budget has told us that we should not allow members of the county assembly to join in our foreign trips because they have their own budget. But Murang'a, we hold a contrary view that the kind of allocation at times they get there at times is not sufficient. And the trips we go also, an MCA can give a little bit of contribution. And therefore, as we have been trying to the level of ability, whenever we have those trips, we give one or few slots to an MCA. It's the right thing to do. Let me now come to the issue of financial autonomy of the county assembly. I'm aware there's a bill that is before the Senate, which is currently proposing that the money that goes to the assembly should go direct, not to be controlled by the county executive. Murang'a County support that bill 100%. Let the assembly get the money directly from the exchequer. It is the right thing to do, it is the moral thing to do. We are ready to see that power so that the assembly has full power to handle those issues. Let me now go to what we call flagship projects. Yes, it is true, and I need to admit that governors, we have a tendency to come up with projects that we want to leverage. But I also believe that all those projects, even MCA can propose and they become county flagship projects. Some of the Murang'a County flagship projects, allow me to take you just in 1 minute some of the programs. Maybe you can go to page 3 if you look there. We have a project, continue please because of time, to page 3. Yes, this is a program called Kangata Care, where we give 160,000 beneficiaries card. Before that medical scheme for the poor was enacted, we ensured we took a policy before the assembly so that the assembly can pass and add their views. When we come, let's say, continue to another program, let's go, this one is hospital infrastructure, continue. Let me give, this one is what we call smart city, where the county tarmacs urban markets. We also have another program called Inua Mkulima, where the mango and milk farmers get subsidy program. They get money to go and buy their inputs. Continue. We have a school feeding program where we give 42,000 ECD learners every day free uji. We have this other one for community project. This is now the one I was telling you where MCAs have a central role. In this, they are the ones we use to do roads, to change the face of our ECDs. As you can see, that is how the ECDs were looking before. And this is strictly projects that MCAs have brought and we have implemented. We have this one called Inua Masomo, continue. This program is where Masomo go up a little the other side. Masomo, every child who is in this school, in all public schools in Murang'a, number 1 to number 10, they don't pay fees. It is fully paid by the county government of Murang'a. We go to Murang'a Youth Service. Murang'a Youth Service, where you are an unemployed young person who doesn't have work, we give you temporary job, we pay you 400 shilling, you clean our towns, then we take you to village polytechnics, you learn as a trade, then we give 15,000 as seed capital. All these projects were proposed mainly by members of the county assembly. We have telemedicine. Telemedicine is the idea that people with chronic ailments, they can come to the county small clinics, but through video or through internet, they are able to see a doctor who is in Murang'a level 5. Again, this was an idea that was made by a member of the county assembly. So the idea is, I strongly believe the caliber of MCAs who have been elected this time is one of the best I've seen since I started this leadership. Even this other one for certified music.
The danger is if we lose or if we allow this to continue, the baseline of the next cycle of allocations shall be the reduced amount, which shall mean that we shall also have a reduced amount in the new CARA that is being discussed. So it's a very important fight. It concerns your assembly, whether you like it or not. So make it your business, talk to your speaker, talk to your clerk, and all the MCAs and all the relevant organs within your assembly. Let them support CAF, let them support us, and together we shall win. Thank you, members, for your attention.
Asante wakili. Makofi tena kwa wakili. Asante sana. Sasa mabibi na mabwana, kwa heshima kuu, umefika wakati ule ambao tulikuwa tunasubiria. Kulikuwa na sehemu ya kutoa annual progress report, lakini SG amesema tuipumzike kidogo tuweze kukamilisha shughuli kwa sababu ya wageni wetu. Chief guest, Governor wa Murang'a, Mheshimiwa Irungu Kang'ata, able Senator Bwana Edwin Sifuna ambaye pia ni ODM Secretary General. Kuna title nyingine hapa Mheshimiwa Sifuna unanitatiza kidogo. Sasa sijui nitumie vipi. Hii ya deputy, najua juzi mahakama ilitoa kauli nyingine. Sasa sijui tutumie deputy minority ama majority whip. Kwa leo tutumie gani mheshimiwa? Okay, ile utapenda. Tutumie ile utapenda. Hai, tutumie deputy majority whip. Hiyo tutapiga baadaye kwenye ile serikali ya broad based. Lakini Madam Chair, tumefikia wakati wa plenary. I'm glad that the questions were posted. What we have done as a team, we've just simplified them in the interest of time. Alafu pia maswali mengine yalikuwa repetitive ambayo wengi wenu wameuliza. Kwa hivyo kwa sababu ya muda mturuhusu. Kama kuna kosa litafanyika mnilaumu mimi, lakini ikiwa mtataka majibu zaidi, I can take around the microphone but very briefly. Maswali tumeyagawanya na nafikiri mheshimiwa seneta wetu Edward Sifuna atatusaidia. Mengine amegusia, lakini let me start by question number 1. Why did Senate reduce the allocations for assemblies through CARA 2024? I know you mentioned something briefly, lakini tufafanulie. Ward Development Fund for both elected and nominated MCAs, Senate to support. Why the Senate has disregarded time and again the public accounts report, committee reports from the assemblies. How far is the pension scheme bill for MCAs? Alafu mwisho, financial autonomy for county assemblies. How long will the law take? Do I give you time to just spruce up? Naomba pia ujibu ukiwa hapa, sio lazima uje chini mheshimiwa seneta.
Nashukuru kwa heshima, acha nisimame. Kwanza swala namba 5, I think I have explained the stage at which the law is. And the same as the pension scheme for MCAs, the relevant law. And then there was a question of why Senate disregards the PAC reports from assemblies. I don't know who raised that particular question, but the assemblies that have appeared before PAC will bear me witness that we have always invited the PAC committees of all the assemblies whenever their governor appears before our PAC committee. And one of the questions we always put to the assemblies is whether they themselves have considered the reports of the Auditor General in those respective counties. We would never disregard. And the good thing with the Senate proceedings, especially at the park, is that we carry those proceedings live. And those who have appeared before us, unless there was a specific issue with a specific county, I would want to discuss that question with the specific member. We would never disregard, because as we say, your primary oversight role and our secondary oversight role are complementary. There is no way we can overlook something or a recommendation that has been made by a county assembly. Then on the question of why did Senate reduce the allocations for assemblies through CARA 2024, again, I have explained that after the Division of Revenue bill was returned to us with the proposed cuts, because we had passed a Division of Revenue Act that was, giving counties 400.1 billion Kenya shillings. This was reduced to 387. What it did is it required that there be cuts on every program, because the amount that we were working with was different. But I have said, and this is a position that we took in Naivasha, Chege Mwaura, you were there, that even in this new formula, we will not accept any formula that results in a reduction of any amount of money going to the counties compared to the previous financial year. So this is something that we don't expect to see anymore. Then the Ward Development Fund for both elected and nominated MCAs. That is a new angle that you have introduced. When you go to a game and they say you are throwing me a curveball, this is something I had not thought about. Is it the view of plenary that this is something that the Senate should support? Then you guide us accordingly, as through your leadership and as members. We have no problem. What we want is that these resources are devolved to the lowest level and they help our people on the ground. Is there anything I've left out, Nimrod?
No, that's it, Mheshimiwa. Asante sana.
Thank you.
I know the problem.
I just wanted to add one thing, because the Wamariamu, where is he? Wamariamu, you challenged me and you told me that now that the CS for Treasury is my former chairperson. I want to give you my personal experience. When we were doing the negotiation between the National Assembly and the Senate on the figure to allocate to counties, I remember we were in the midst of mediation, and then the Treasury CS, John Badi, releases a statement and says it doesn't matter what those guys are doing over there, we only have 380 billion Kenya shillings. And those of you who recall, I made a lot of noise. I took exception to that position, because as a member of the executive, he should allow the Senate and the National Assembly, the people who are supposed to do this job, to finish that job before he comments on it. He is in the executive now. I can tell you, it attracted a lot of animosity towards me, because there are people who believe that when I criticize or nikikosoa somebody who's a member of my party or a former leader, they think that it is personal. It is not personal. There are things, if I disclosed here today, it's just that it is the wrong forum. But those people who come from my political party know that that same treasury owes ODM 12 billion shillings. If indeed it was mine, 12 billion, if indeed it was mine, I would pay myself first. So, Mheshimiwa wa Mariam, I am in more problems than you. But at the end of the day, we have a responsibility to hold the people who hold these offices to account, whether they come from our political parties or not, because that is what we swore to do. I thank you very much.
Thank you, Mheshimiwa Senator Edwin Sifuna. The other set of questions, I'd like to direct them to members of the CAF Governing Council as well as the CAF Executive Committee members. Number 6, remunerations and benefits for MCAs. Why is it taking too long? Number 7, what happened to the annual increments for MCAs? Number 8, how far is the law on anchorage of CAF or CAF into law? And then the dates and the venue for the most important summit this year, the Legislative Summit. I think the honorable members want to know more about it. And then last but not least, challenges with the control of budget on the release of county funds. Maybe SG, you can yeah.
Thank you, Nimrod. Maybe quickly on the issue of remuneration and benefit of MCAs, why it is taking long. I did mention that the SRC commission that was there ilifunga kazi, their term came to an end. There is a new commission, uliona kwa gazeti. So we have already started discussions with them. However, the bulk of number 6 usually huwa nyuma ya tent, so that we don't also clog these issues. But as the team here will tell you, from our akina Karanja, the leaders wako hapa, we do go together these kinds of meetings, and you are aware. In fact, nimeona mtu kwa forum tu hapa akinitumia, cha nione, I don't know, Nimrod niachie niseme, inaona one of the bloggers Dennis Itumbe anasema MCAs have a meeting, chief guest wao ni Sifuna, kazi yao ni kuitisha salary increase, shame on us, hizi vitu kama hizi, sijui haina, you know, these are the issues, but these are our issues. Nyinyi ndio mnavaa hiyo kiatu. We have to speak when tuko na members kama hapa. This is our issue, and these are the issues that the country is looking forward for. This our jamaa waende watetee, waweze kupiga zile milango haziwezi. So tutatupiwa mawe, but we'll take it in our stride. Welfare issues are ours, and even devolution issues are ours. What happened to the annual remittance increments of MCAs? You remember, inafaa kufanyika July. You remember wakati Gen Z leta maneno zikaholdiwa. If you remember very well. And so these are the issues we are going to take up na SRC once we have their meeting. How far is the law on anchoring of CAF into law? As Senator Sifuna said, is already done at the Senate. It has moved to the National Assembly. It was to do first reading, and then it takes up. It is important to mention that IGRTC, Intergovernmental Relations Technical Committee, as well as the Council of Governors, as well as County Assemblies Forum, are on that law. So the plan is to make sure that ipite within hopefully the next 3 months. Once we have it there, it has a new structure of how assembly is going to be governed. And I hope that one hapo ndio watu wataweza kuzunguka to change structure ya CAF, tuweze kuweka leadership ambao nyinyi mtafeel addresses your issue. On the issue of the dates and the venue of the summit shall be held from 14th to 21st of March hapa Nairobi. Kuna hotel convention center inaitwa Edge. Edge is in South Sea. Wale wametoka Mombasa Road, mkikuja just behind Boma. The beauty about that hall, it can host over 3,000 members. And so we thought sisi na members wetu, because there's also been a big call from staff of the county assemblies. They also want CAF to take up the issue. So even as much as CAF wanna feel, members wanna feel bado ijatosha, the staff in the county assemblies would still wish CAF to mention, to take up the issue. So we wanted a bigger hall. We'll also bring all these other players, whether it's Senate, whether it's CRA, whether it's COB, whether it's Treasury, whether it's, of course, the President has confirmed. We'll have all this meeting happen. And nikimalizia tu on that issue, we'll still work with your county assembly so that we identify members who will make also to be in those plenary discussions. Challenges on COB and the release of funds. This is also a challenging issue. Hata hii sheria ambayo our lawyer amesema we got stay orders. I've met even county assemblies including Kilifi, wamekuja mbona hii pesa itafikiwa. We got orders. When you get orders, you revert to the earlier one. So ikuwe clear. If nini imeshikiliwa na koti, then you revert to the former kara. So that it should be that clear. Maybe it barua. And we had instructed our lawyer to also serve COB so that counties do not have a problem accessing that amount. I thank you.
Asante sana Bwana SG, makofi kwake, asante sana. Madam Chair, I seek your guidance and instructions. If we could move to the almost second last session, which is resolutions and the way forward. Asante.
At this point, a request has been made from our chief guest and our governor, Governor Kangata, that we release them because they have other duties to attend to, and I want to request that we allow that we release them. Thank you very much.
Makofi ya kilo sana kwa Mheshimiwa Seneta wa Nairobi, Senator Edwin Sifuna ambaye pia ni katibu mkuu chama cha ODM na Deputy Minority Whip katika bunge la Senate. Makofi kwake tumpe shukrani kwa kutupa muda kuwa nasi, vile vile kwa mgeni wetu wa heshima Mheshimiwa Gavana Irungu Kang'ata, wakili na vile vile gavana wa jimbo la Murang'a. Asante sana Mheshimiwa Gavana, makofi kwao tafadhali. Na tunashukuru pia kwa wosia na kwa kutuongoza pia katika kikao cha leo. Tunawatakia kila laheri na ufanisi mkubwa. Makofi kwao wanapoondoka. Thank you very much. Asante sana waheshimiwa. Thank you so much. Asante. Wengine tuendelee kutulia. Najua muda kidogo unayoyoma, lakini nataka tumalize katika dakika pengine 10 hivi ambazo zimesalia. Asante sana.
So the key, is if she can quickly raise them, so that I would also want members also to flank them, even as we're doing with the presser. Yeah, so I raise the resolutions very fast, and then you and the EC, you can go there, and I would also want the members to be part of the presser. Ama tufanye pesa yetu baadaye. Members, the key resolutions ya leo ni mambo ya Equitable Ward Development Fund, engage Parliament for decision for inclusion of Ward Development Fund in the constitutional amendment similar to CDF and Senate Oversight Fund. Number 2, the county allocation of revenue as inter-party hearing on the 20th of February 2020. Our resolution is that the legal representatives continue with the outcome of the matter in our favor. Number 3, financial autonomy. Tumekubaliana that the members recommend the financial autonomy be granted to the county assemblies to have their own control. Resolution is that CAF lobby Senate and National Assembly to fast track the passage of the bill. Affirmative Action Fund, the Senate to consider having an affirmative action for nominated NCAs, that the CAF engages the Senate to establish affirmative action fund and mirrors the National Government Affirmative Action Fund entrenched into law. Anchorage of CAF into law, that CAF fast track the passage of the Intergovernmental Relations Act Amendment Bill to strengthen CAF to better represent its members. Further, that the members propose that CAF on considers amending the constitution to reflect ordinary members in its leadership position. Number 6, members' welfare to be prioritized at CAF, County Assemblies Forum to pursue matters of members' pensions, review of members' salaries, reinstatement of plenary and mileage allowances and security for members. The resolution is that the resolution that County Assemblies Forum engages SRC and CRA on the review of members' salaries. 6, Legislative Summit. You've been welcome to come to the Legislative Summit on 14th to 21st, 2025. Tumekubaliana hizo resolutions. If there is something that has been not been captured, we will look at it from the messages that have been put. May I get now a resolution, and we say, for those of the opinion of passage of those resolutions, say aye. Aye. For those of a different opinion, say nay. The ayes have it. Finally, let me take this opportunity to thank Governor Kang'ata and Senator Sifuna for agreeing to come to embrace our event. Secondly, I also want to thank all the members. Nyinyi members ambao mmekuja na mmekaa mpaka saa hii, mmetuficha aibu. Oh, yeye ndo anapenda. Okay, sorry. So thank you so much on behalf of the EC. Our deputy chair will say those remarks, but on my own behalf, I really want to thank you. Thank you so much for coming to Kutaneni Summit, the deputy chair.
Good afternoon, honorable members. I want to take this opportunity to say thank you and to all the assemblies, all the house leadership, the speakers, the members of the county assembly, the governing council, the executive council members, the speakers that have graced our occasion, and all of us. Situjipigie makofi kwa assembly. Tunasema shukrani kubwa kwa Mwenyezi Mungu na aweze kutupatia rehema na baraka tele. Kwa hayo tunasema asante.
Makofi kwa mheshimiwa, tunasema asante, asante sana. Lakini nakumbuka tulianza kwa maombi, si ndio? Si tulianza kwa maombi? Tutulie dakika moja tufunge kwa maombi tafadhali. Tufunge kwa maombi tafadhali, tutulie dakika moja.
Thank you, Nimrod. Shall we stand and give thanks? Let's just be upstanding. My name is Lucy Mukaria. I am a member of the Meru County Assembly. Let's pray. Our dear Heavenly Father, once again we bow our hearts and hands in reverence unto your holy name this afternoon with grateful hearts, O God, that you've taken us this far. You've helped us to travel from far and wide. You've blessed our discussion together, our God. We just want to say thank you for the grace and mercy. Thank you, dear Lord, for our leaders that have spoken to us this afternoon. We pray, King of our glory, that whatever we have resolved, oh God, you help us by your mercy to implement to the glory of your name and to the welfare of your people. We give you glory and honor. And as we part this afternoon, we pray that your presence again will walk with us, that you charge your angels over us, even up until we reach our destinations. Oh God, we thank you and we bless your holy name. We want to pray that, King of all glory, that when you give us another opportunity to meet together, we shall be careful to thank you. And until we meet again, may the grace of our Lord Jesus Christ and the love of God the Father and the fellowship of the Holy Spirit be with us now and forevermore. Amen.
Haya, waheshimiwa wanasema asante sana kwa ungwana wenu, kwa heshima yenu na kwa kuwa pamoja nasi. Tuonane tarehe 14 mwezi Machi hapa jijini Nairobi. Mimi nitakuwa kwenye gate na wakaribisha. Sawa sawa, 14th to 21st. Hizo ni siku nyingi sana. Tutakuwa tumeandalia mengi mazuri. Asante, Mungu awabariki na msafiri salama. Muwasalimie wapendwa wetu katika kaunti hizo zingine. Asante sana. Thank you.